to Season 5 of Body and Mind, brought to you by Beverage Partners, Lacno Healthy Living Juices and Oasis Box Drinking Water, Hygiene Partners Cool and Cool, and associate sponsors Nutridor Abavia, NutriCook and Allium Chicken. Now, during the lockdown, I've been doing some yoga at home, but today I've decided to heighten my asanas, sun salutations and pranayams because I'm going to be doing it at 465 meters up in the sky. I think this is what they mean by feeling on top of the world. So let's say a quick hello to Cliff. He is the founder of Core Direction and the organizer of Yoga at the Top. How's it going, Cliff?
Yeah, good. Thank you for having me.
So Yoga at the Top is your brainchild, correct?
That's right.
What inspired you to do yoga 465 meters up in the air?
Yeah, it's a crazy time, as we know, and Dubai is well known as the travel hub of the world, and so we decided if people couldn't travel outside of the city, what we would do is we'd give them something really incredible and amazing, once in a lifetime bucket list experience right in their home city. So here you have it, 124 floors up in the world's tallest building, doing a yoga session and yeah, just living the dream.
It is a spectacular view because you get a bird's eye view of the entire city, and the classes start at 7 a.m. I've been up since 5 a.m. this morning. It is nice and early, and I mean, despite that, you have a full house.
Yeah, I mean, we are, more than a dozen classes in now, and every class has been fully booked. People that have come down just, they afterwards just have loved the experience and just rave about it, which is amazing for us. And I've got a vision and a mission. It's the very mission of our business to inspire movement. And that's what we're doing here. We're giving people the ability to come in and be inspired by an amazing setting and to be inspired by other people around them, obviously socially distanced, of course. But yeah, just standing true to our mission and yeah.
Cliff, you've been in Dubai for over a decade and you've been in the fitness industry for over 20 years. And this is such an amazing concept. What is the kind of fitness level that people need in order to participate?
Again, our mission is to inspire movement.
Yeah.
So we don't care how fast you can run, how much you can bench press, how amazing your handstand is. All we want to do is to get people to move more. So we've built these experiences for beginners, intermediate and advanced in mind. So it doesn't matter what your skill level is, you can definitely get involved. Even if you've never done yoga before, you can come in. We say to people, get into a child's pose whenever you need to. Take a sip of water, take many sips of water throughout your hour's practice. Soak in every moment, every movement, because you're here for the experience as much as you are here for the yoga and to move. And every time you move, you are winning and getting a little bit fitter, happier and healthier.
That is my specialty, the child's pose. Some people say nobody nails it like I do.
Yeah, I'm sure. I feel the same.
Cliff, I'm dying to try this because I've done yoga before, but it is the first time that I'm going to have the entire view of Dubai in front of me at 7 a.m. in the morning while I do my downward dog. So let's get to it.
Yeah, I have no doubt you'll have an amazing experience.
Thank you. Looking forward to it. This was my first at the top yoga experience and I had butterflies in my stomach. First of all, I was trying not to look down because we are on the 124th or 25th floor, I'm not sure. So it is, if you're scared of heights, do not look down. But in general, from an experience perspective, it is brilliant because you have a bird's eye view of the city. Everyone's possibly still sleeping because it's 7 a.m. in the morning.
This is absolutely the most visually stunning classes that I've ever experienced here at the top of the Burj Khalifa. Absolutely beautiful views overlooking Dubai, so you feel like you're on a bird's eye view looking over the city of Dubai. So absolutely incredible experience here at the top of Burj Khalifa.
There definitely is a lot of energy in the air. In general, everyone who comes there, they are yoga enthusiasts because, I mean, to be up that early in the morning, it is still very hot outside and the sun is glaring in your eyes. To have to endure all of that, you have to be somebody who's really passionate about that. In general, the excitement and enthusiasm in the air was just riveting.
Well, firstly, it's just the whole experience of being in the world's tallest building at such a beautiful time in the morning with this amazing view. So it's a completely different experience from your normal average yoga class.
I do a very, very basic level of yoga. In my daily routine, yoga is probably just my last 10 minutes of stretches. I did think the class was a little bit more advanced than that, but then again, the good thing is that with yoga, you can go at your own pace, so you do what you're comfortable with. My balance is not particularly great, so that's probably why I don't tend to, lean towards yoga too much. But otherwise, I mean, the instructor right from the top, she tells you this is not really a yoga class, it's a yoga experience. So you look at it from that point of view and you enjoy it for what it is.
This is awesome. You're doing yoga 100 and I don't know how many miles up on top, so I'm not sure on the numbers, but this is quite an experience on its own, and just being at one of the tallest buildings in the world, it feels so awesome. It's really amazing.
I think it's a great experience, especially if you have somebody visiting Dubai for the first time. This should be on their bucket list because it is an experience like none other, because you get a good workout and then you get some great pictures and you have a brilliant view of the entire city.
So I only got to Dubai in March and went straight into lockdown, and so now that things are opening up again, it's amazing to experience new things. And this is my first ever yoga at the top. We're at the top of the Burj Khalifa. Do not get more spectacular views than this. The sun was rising, the breeze was blowing. I just feel like a different person. I don't really even do yoga, but the instructor was fantastic. I feel energized. I would absolutely recommend it to everyone. And I just don't think there's a better experience than this.
That concludes my first ever At the Top yoga session. From a visual point of view, it is one of the best experiences ever because it's just stunning. I challenge the best of yoga studios across the world to beat this experience right here. Right, now before I go to break, I'm gonna have my green juice over here, which I blended in my NutriBullet juicer. That stuff is just amazing. It can blend your morning smoothies, juices and whatnot. And the best part is that it comes with a little takeaway cup, so it is just grab and go convenience at its best. So why don't you guys go take a break and I'm gonna enjoy some of my morning green juice. Welcome back to Season 5 of Body and Mind, brought to you by beverage partners Lucknow Healthy Living Juices and Oasis Box Drinking Water, hygiene partners Cool & Cool, and associate sponsors NutriDo Abevia, Acumen Chicken and NutriCook. Now, I think it's safe to say that the pandemic has turned a lot of us into lockdown master chefs. But the impact on the waistline has been significant. I mean, who am I kidding over here? So it is very important to find the right meal plan, and today we are going to feature an interesting concept. All right, so I've just washed my hands with my Cool & Cool hand wash and I'm ready to eat and have girl chat with none other than Divya, who is one of the co-owners of Home Chef. I think it's been a good 2 years since we last met.
Yes, exactly 2 years.
Some things have changed since. You still look fabulous. That hasn't changed.
Thank you.
But I want to talk a little bit about Home Chef because you guys started off initially as a on-demand chef service, which I believe you still are.
Yes.
But you have branched out into meal planning service.
That's
Tell us
right.
more. Yeah.
So yes, we are originally on-call chef service, which is still going on. But because of the pandemic, we had to diversify. We had to think of more ideas. We had to see what the need in the market was. And we did find that there was probably a need for home-cooked, home-style meal plan services. And yes, we are into home-style food services now. We are supplying food. We are sending out our packages, our meals, and we have a variety of dishes.
That's what I wanted to ask you, because while you're speaking, I'm really like swallowing these meatballs and cauliflower mash in front of me. It is probably one of my favorite dishes of everything that I've tried so far.
I'm glad
so
you
I
like
want to
it.
know a little bit about your varieties, because I know that your target is predominantly the Indian community,
That's
right?
right.
But you do have different cuisines as
Correct. So being an Indian, of course, my favor towards Indian food is always a little bit more.
well. Tell me about it.
But yes, looking at the market needs, even being an Indian, we always need a change and we want international tastes as well. So yes, we are having a lot of meals which are Indian, and not only like exotic restaurant style Indian food. We are more into like a very simple seasonal vegetables, using more greens, because of course we don't want you to fill it up with butter and a lot of ghee. We give you very nice, tasty, home style cooked food. And yes, our meals, so we have different meal plans. We have
because it's not just the different cuisines. You also cater to different diet preferences.
That's right.
So can you tell me a little bit about that, please?
Yes, we have currently serving 3 meal plans. One is a wholesome plan where it's a typical kind of a diet that you would want to follow on a daily basis.
Did I just eat uttapam?
Yeah, and that's made of oats, by the way.
Okay, so I'm eating some oats, uttapam over here. It's
oats and
completely new for me.
vegetables.
Yeah.
And we have things like rajma chawal and chole chawal, or a lasagna, or a nice sesame chicken Asian bowl.
So which is what we have over here,
that's
by
right.
the way.
That's
This is a
what it
beautiful
is.
Asian bowl with soba noodles underneath, fresh vegetables, chicken, and a delicious dressing right here.
That's right. Then we have something which is a weight loss plan, which of course we have a nutritionist on board who looks into your personal needs.
That's amazing, because I know that you are heavily involved in the conceptualization and selecting the dishes, the recipes and everything. But the nutritionist, I believe, oversees just
She
to
looks
make
into
sure.
your
Yeah.
health.
Okay.
So losing weight is one thing which we all obviously want
Need to post
all
lockdown
of us.
especially.
it's a challenge. It's an ongoing challenge. I think we're all facing every day in our lives.
Yeah.
But losing weight the right way is most important. It is not important for us to just get a few pounds off and look okay and get them back after as soon as you get back
No
onto
fat diet, it's a lifestyle,
exactly.
yeah.
So yes, what she does is, so all of us have our own needs. We all have our own issues, like somebody has a dietary issue in terms of being lactose intolerant. Someone has another issue which could be probably a PCOS or a
diabetes,
diabetic, whatever it is. So she looks into that and then she alters the plan as per your needs.
So how do we need to order this meal plan? Is it weekly, bi-weekly, monthly? What is it?
We have all the options possible. We have
Okay.
options starting from once a week to 6 days a week. We have options of having minimum 2 meals in a day, which could be either breakfast and lunch or breakfast and dinner.
I think a lot of people prefer that, right?
A lot of people do, because especially people who are working, they prefer having the breakfast and lunch so that they can just pack it away and take it with them. Easier. No, the best thing, the best feedback that we get from our clients is that our kitchen is as good as new, because they never have to cook food. They don't have to wash utensils.
No dishwasher.
Nothing
No dishes
at
to be
all. No
washed.
ingredients to be bought.
Yeah.
So the whole thought process about what needs to be cooked, what doesn't need to be prepared isn't there. So everything is prepared, it's sent, it's ready, and you're good to go.
And quite easy on the pocket as well, because you've created this concept keeping in mind the needs of people from different spectrums. Yeah,
Absolutely. And also because we are still new, we want to improve, we would love to get better as we go further. So we do not want to start with a very high price. We just want to be something that everybody can enjoy.
I hope it stays that way.
I hope so too.
And I wish you guys luck. I would love to try one of your meal plans sometime.
Thank you. Hopefully keto.
Yeah, yes, keto. I've never tried a proper keto diet,
So out of all these dishes, which one's your favorite?
I think it's no surprise that I've really been digging into these meatballs and this cauliflower mash.
That's my favorite
Divya
too.
has been giving me the recipe for this off camera. It's so delicious.
It is,
And in general, the food is very rich, not in a bad way, but very delicious, colorful, and immunity boosting as well.
Yes. So we don't use anything that's frozen ever, because everything is procured fresh. Even the vegetables, I myself procure the ingredients. So every single day I buy them fresh myself. And these are the coconut date protein balls, like you can see. Very simple, yet very nutritious. It has no added sugar.
So nice and moist
Simple,
inside.
yes, absolutely simple. And you should try this as well.
Oh yes, what is this?
This is a turmeric latte made with almond milk and fresh almonds, of course. And it is very, very low on sugar. You can taste that. Yeah, this is again very good with our immunity boosting. It is something that we try to give as much as possible, because turmeric anyways is like an antiseptic, and with the whole pandemic right now, we just want to have as much green, as much fresh, as much immunity boosting, metabolism boosting drinks as possible.
Fantastic. And you've really been convincing me to try the keto diet, which I'm familiar with, but not something that I've really gotten into.
I could say that because I have been on one and it's been only a week, but I love it.
That's
and
good.
I hope you like it too. So there is
I hope so.
something very small as a token
Thank
from
you.
our side
Thank
to
you.
I hope you really enjoy
It's not
this.
just the bag, there's food inside, right?
I
Thank
hope
you,
there is.
Divya. I would love to try out your entire meal plan for one day and see how I go with it, because it's convenience more than anything else,
It
especially
is.
when I'm out and about and on shoots. It's not practical for me to be cooking at home or overseeing the person.
No. It is.
So
it
this
is.
definitely is very convenient. I wish you guys all the very best.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. This is a brilliant concept. The food is delicious.
Thank you.
And hopefully I see you sooner than another 2-year gap.
Yes, hopefully.
All right, thank you. That was such a good meal. I just had to wash it down with my Oasis box drinking water. Right, so I have my Home Chef goodie bag right here, and I may or may not try keto. I'm still contemplating on that one. It's time for a quick break. The show is not over yet. And once we come back, we will be tackling child psychology during the pandemic. So stay tuned. Welcome back to Season 5 of Body and Mind, brought to you by Beverage Partners, Lacno Healthy Living Juices and Oasis Box Drinking Water, Hygiene Partners Cool & Cool, and associate sponsors Nutridor Abevia, Acumen Chicken and NutriCook. As parents, we always care more about our children's well-being than our own. But it is no secret that this pandemic has been incredibly hard on both parents and children. But when it comes to young minds, it is very important for them to have structure and guidance. So for all of us to get a little bit of guidance, today I'm at the Priory Wellbeing Center. From social skills to behavior, mental health issues to discipline, there is so much readjusting that needs to be done in the lives of the little ones who are already accustomed to a life at home with the parents. To help us unpack this, I am joined by psychotherapist Mandeep here from Priory Wellbeing Center. Hi, Mandeep.
Hi, Aishwarya. Thank you so much for joining us in this clinic. Thank you.
My pleasure. Mandeep, kids.
Yes.
Blessing, joy when
Yes.
things are good. Being a parent, I can honestly say that. This new change, for a lack of a better word, has been tough on everyone.
Yes.
And this change has come about more due to necessity rather than choice. What has been your general observation when it comes to children's mental health during COVID?
Yeah. Well, firstly, lots of students and young children have been struggling with mental health problems. There was a study done earlier this year in the UK with around 2,000 young adults, and 80% increase since COVID and since lockdown. So it's a massive increase in clients with...
Not good news.
Yeah, it's really kind of increased and worsened. So it's really impacted, I think, young children, everybody, to be honest. It's, yeah.
Everybody. I mean, COVID does not discriminate, does it?
Yes.
It does not spare anybody.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can agree with me when I say that this has been a very different kind of summer. A lot of families chose to stay in their home countries, either due to budget restrictions, travel complexities, safety. So staying at home during the holidays just means more screen time, e-learning pressures. How has increased screen time affected children and limited social interaction? How does this affect them?
Yeah, I think it does impact them a lot, because children love to have some kind of a routine, some kind of a structure. They like to know what's coming next, what they're going to do. And if we're suddenly restricted from these things and in this lockdown, then, you know, we're going to have uncomfortable negative emotions. So children for sure are going to have frustration or feeling irritable or feeling stressed, and this might be more apparent with them acting out in certain ways or not doing things as you might ask them to do. So yeah, it definitely has an impact, because we're feeling restricted as individuals, and anytime there's a restriction, there is some kind of negative emotions linked with it.
Yeah. What would you suggest would be some practical solutions to balance this?
Yeah, there are so many solutions, to be honest. There is such a variety of modalities that children can learn from, whether it's talking therapy, so talking through their issues and sharing their experiences with adults or individuals, whether it's through play. Children are very creative in how they want to express themselves, so it can be through play, it can be through art, it can be through music, so many different ways that they're subconsciously letting out things that are going on for them in this kind of format.
I mean, I completely agree with you, because children should never be denied school, because it is so important for their mental health. Which brings me to the million-dollar question. There's a huge debate going on for parents. Should we or shouldn't we send the kids to school? I mean, I'm at a place of advantage because my little one, she has just turned 3. I don't mind postponing her school maybe by a few months or even by another year.
Yeah.
I obviously don't have the pressures that a lot of parents with older kids who've already paid tuition and other things have.
Yes.
So I'm at a place of advantage. What is your take on this? Should we or shouldn't we send the kids to school?
Do you know, it's so hard to answer this question, because I work with
pressure.
lots of parents, and I can see both sides of the coin. So homeschooling is the way to go for some families, and that's absolutely fine. And for other parents, they may have one child, they may have several children, so they are finding it so difficult to manage kind of their own anxieties, and they feel that the structure of a school setting is more important than homeschooling. Yeah.
Mandeep, I want to ask you about the kids who have already started school, because it is school season. A lot of them are back. What are some of the behavioral changes that parents need to keep an eye out for? Because now going back to school is a change for them, because they're so used to being at home for several months.
So I think it's so important to notice, what were they doing before that was the norm, and have there been any specific changes in their behaviours? For example, if they were playing on FIFA, on their iPads, gaming, and they were enjoying this and they were doing this with limits, and now they've suddenly have no interest in doing this, they're isolating themselves, they're withdrawing, not having much appetite or interested in the things that they were doing. It's okay to have these kind of uncomfortable emotions, but if any of the emotions continue for several weeks, that it's impacting their life, they're not able to concentrate at school, they're not interested in their social aspect of life, then that's when it becomes a problem. Yeah.
Although this segment is about children's mental health, we cannot talk about children's mental health without speaking about the parents' mental health, because let's face it, it has not been a walk in the park. A lot of parents are cooped up in an apartment, or even if you have a big house, it doesn't matter. Working from home when you have children, especially young children, has not been easy. So even the parents, some of the symptoms that you mentioned, the parents have been a little bit on edge, irritable. So what is the advice that you have to give the parents out there? How should they deal with their emotions, their temperament in a better way, and speak and communicate better with the kids?
Yeah, it's such an important question. I think the most important thing, the example that I like to give, is that we can only treat other people and care for other people if we are feeling full and okay in ourselves. So it's like putting an oxygen mask on the aeroplane.
Yes.
Well, we're not flying
Fasten
anywhere
your
for now.
seatbelts first.
Yeah, and put on your oxygen mask before you put it on anybody
Absolutely.
else. So the most important thing for adults, for parents, is to ensure that they are okay in themselves. And sometimes, they may not even be aware that they are feeling stressed, they're on edge, they're going from 0 to 100 in a flash. So they need to be aware that actually, how am I feeling? Asking themselves honestly, what am I going through at the moment? What am I experiencing? Do I feel tension in my stomach? Do I get headaches? Is it a physical experience, the way that it's impacting them? So adults need to really be aware of their own anxieties and managing this, I think, before they can look after their children. Yeah.
You can never pour from an empty cup. I think that's what it trickles down to,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
I think 2020 is going to be a constant learning curve for parents and children. Let's try and keep mental health at check as much as we can, not just for our kids, but for ourselves as well.
Absolutely.
Mandeep, thank you so much for
Thank
coming on the
you.
show and sharing your insights and advice to not just myself, but our viewers as well. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, so that's all on this episode of Season 5 of Body and Mind. Thank you so much. We will be back with more compelling content same time next Sunday, so keep watching.